Welcome back to Lessons for Life, coming live on a Friday night. We've got Mac returning in the bottom right of your screen. And it's a special request because Mac has a few questions about the Baha'i Faith. The main question being, what is it? We've got two followers of that religion with us. I want to welcome Lo John in the top right and Beatbox Tangent on the bottom left. Hello, Lo John. Welcome back to you. Thanks for getting back in touch with me. And what can you tell Mac about the Baha'i Faith? What is it?
Well, hello, everyone. Hello, Kelim. Hello, Mac. And hello, Jules. Hi. So in a nutshell, I'm going to time myself because it's 1 or 2 minutes. So I'm going to time myself here. So the Baha'i Faith, Mac and others listening, is a new religion. It new, when I say new, started in 1844 in Persia, in your homeland.
And capital city, right?
Sorry?
Capital city of Iran, Tehran?
No, actually, it started in
Shiraz.
The first night, Shiraz. Yeah, absolutely. And the purpose of this religion is to unite mankind. That is the purpose. And Baha'u'lláh, who was we believe to be the prophet founder of the Baha'i Faith, he was a Persian nobleman who gave his life for the teaching of oneness, and he taught that God, we believe in God, taught humanity over from the beginning of time. Every few hundred years, he, for want of a better word, sent messengers of God or prophets or what we call manifestations of God to earth to guide mankind towards an ever advancing civilization, towards unity. And in this day and age, and every few hundred years, there's a new messenger of God, whether it's Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Zoroaster, Krishna, etc. In this day and age, Baha'u'lláh, we believe. And the purpose is to unite mankind. And we believe, actually, just to end on this bit, that we believe that this period in history that we're in now is the most fantastic, amazing period of history that, as Baha'u'lláh says, every prophet of the past has waited for this day. And this is the day that world peace will happen, unity will happen, the world will unite. And by day, I don't mean the 21st of November or whatever it is. I mean, obviously, this age that we're living in now. So all the things we see around us are because of Baha'u'lláh, because of this new religion, and because of the unification of mankind that's impending, that's about to happen. So that's a nutshell, I think. 2 minutes, spot on. And
Beatbox, anything you missed?
Yeah. Just
what does it mean to you?
And just to expand on that. Hello, my name's Kalim. I'm a beatboxer, so that's what I call Beatbox Tangent. Just to expand on what Sam said as well, is that the Baha'i Faith also is an independent world religion, and that the Baha'i Faith was born out of Islam the same way that Christianity was born out of Judaism. So as Baha'is, we don't say we are a part of any past religion, that we are totally independent religion in itself. And that's exactly what Sam said. In all religions, they are waiting for a prophet or a messenger of God to return. So for example, if we go to Buddhism, they are waiting for the 5th Buddha to return. In Hinduism, they are waiting for His Holiness Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, says, when there's a decrease of righteousness, I come to the age by age. So this prophecy in Hinduism, in Christianity is the same as well. You know that Christians are waiting for Christ to come back in the glory of the Father. The same with the Muslims as well. But if you're Sunni, you're waiting for the Mahdi or Isa to return. And if you are Shia, you're waiting for the Qayyim, and so on. So basically, in a nutshell, all these major world religions are expecting somebody to return and bring peace and unity to this world. And as Baha'is, we believe that Baha'u'lláh, as Sam said, is the most recent messenger of God for this day, not the last, because Baha'u'lláh says that the age in which we live in right now is continuously changes. That Baha'u'lláh says that we should be anxiously concerned of the needs of the age in which we live in. So he said that each religion basically are like chapters in the one same book. When you read a book,
right.
Yes. So yes.
Callum, just the first questions come in from Dardasha. Why there isn't enough people know about it around the world? I read
That's a
them as
good-
they come in.
That's
Why
a-
do not many people know about it? And Matt Harvey skeptically says, sounds like another religious sect made by a man in the Middle East.
That's interesting. Yeah. Sam, do you want to? I'm happy to.
So why thank you. So why there are not more people who know about it? Very quickly, there are 7 million or 7 or 8 million Baha'is in the world. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, it is the second most geographically widespread belief system in the world. You will find Baha'is in pretty much every town, locality in every country in the world. The first is Christianity. And according to the Christian Science Monitor, the fastest growing religion in the world, percentage-wise. And one has to remember that religious historian, can't remember his name, was it Huxley? I can't remember. It's Toynbee, I can't remember, said that the Bahá'í Faith now is about as equally known to the educated Westerner as Christianity was to the same class of Romans in Rome at the time, about 170 years after it. So it's expanding as quickly as religion generally does. Yeah, that's that. And the second question was Matt. What did Matt say? Sorry, sounds like another sect of a religion, but made by a man in the Middle East. Yeah, fair enough. It does sound like it, doesn't it? I can't say much more to that, other than it isn't, but it does sound like it. Yeah. Sorry, Callum, what more answers to that?
Yeah,
Sorry.
so basically my answers to that is I say this. I say the Baha'i Faith, not many people know about it because I say it's the world's best secret. So yeah, is my point of view on that. So, and it's growing, it only started in the 1800s and it's rapidly growing, and more people are realizing that actually religions are not all these separate entities trying to fight each other for hierarchy. That actually in its essence all religions are one and the same. As I said before, the only difference is the time and the age in which they come, because every age is different from each other. And regards to the second question, yeah, again, same with Sam. Yes, it does sound like that, but His Holiness Jesus said, "By the fruits of the tree you shall recognize them," because a good tree cannot bear bad fruits, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruits. If there's no fruits on the tree, then it is fit for the fire. So we need to analyze it, and we need to investigate truth for ourselves. And for me, the Baha'i Faith, not just spiritually, but also logically makes sense, because it's all about, as Sam says, that concept of unity and diversity, about oneness and coming together.
What did you know about it before, Mac? You'd heard of it.
Honestly, I'd heard of it, and what I had heard from my side of the upbringing is keep away from it.
Okay.
But that's being honest. But I've never. There was no one around to teach me. There was no teachers for me to know of, to ask. But I've done a little research on it myself, and yeah, I'm aware that there was a particular guy who came in it was 1844 called Bab from Shiraz. Nasruddin Shah jailed him, and I think in the 1850s, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. And then Mirza Hussain Ali in I think 1852. I mean, from my research, if I'm not mistaken. But okay, doing all these researches and understanding, obviously he was thrown into the black pit by the Ottoman. Was it the Ottoman?
This guy's a pro. We don't know.
Your history's better than mine.
And then he was banished.
Dostoevsky? Sorry.
And then he was banished to. I know some of it. He was banished to obviously Baghdad in around 1863, and then became Baha'u'lláh. Baha'u'lláh. I'm just speculating. It's all speculation.
Yeah. Oh,
but
quite a memory you got there. You're watching Lessons for Life with regular customer Mac, and we've got Loyal John and Callum introducing him, although he seems to be well acquainted already, to the Baha'i Faith, which is a new religion. Dardasha is saying you said it was born of Islam. What's the similarity between the two religions. Callum, you jump in on that one, and then we'll get John.
Sure.
Can I have Can I have a
Oh, go on,
follow-up question to that?
Yeah, follow-up question
to that. So answer the question, and then I have a follow-up to that.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're waiting in the wings. Go on then, Callum. You're in.
Yeah, so as I said to you, that as Baha'is we believe that all religions are one in its essence, but the only difference is the time and age that we live in. So what's the difference? So the difference is, as Baha'is...
Well, we're looking for similarities, yeah? The question was, what's the similarity?
Similarities. So the similarities, yes, believe in the one God, that there's only one God, whether you call God Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or if you call God Yahweh, Al-Mazda, the Father, it's all the one same name for God. We're
looking for the similarities with Islam.
Sure.
So oneness of God, I guess, is the biggest one.
Oneness of God. We fast as well.
Okay, fasting.
We fast. Sam, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Baha'i, that's a strange question, because to us, not only is there similarity with Islam, as Kalim was going on there, there's similarity with every religion, in that we believe all religions are one. They're all different chapters, as Kalim said, of the same religion. So the similarity to Islam, we would say, we are Muslims. We are Muslim. Yeah. We Baha'u'lláh said, have read ye not, I mean, Baha'u'lláh was a Muslim himself, as was his whole family. Perused ye not the Quran, read it, that haply ye may know the truth, for this is the straight path for eternity, or something like that, he said. So, to us, the Quran is very, very dear, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, very, very close to our hearts, as is Jesus, Muhammad, as is Jesus, Buddha, the rest of them. So the similarities, in that sense, is the same religion. It's the fulfillment of Islam. So it's just Islam plus, in a way, or carried on, not that it's better, it's just that it's the same one. But sorry, Mac. But also the similarities in some practical ways are, we believe in one God. We fast. We have 19 days of fasting. We believe in the people of the book and blah blah blah. Others as well. So it's the same religion in a way, but it's a new religion because there are new laws and there's new revelation. Sorry, Mac.
No, I was just gonna say that I find hard to reconcile these 2 points. Now, you say you believe in the Prophet, but the Prophet did highlight that there would be no other prophets after. So this would be one rule that would be in confliction. Now, how do you reconcile that as a Baha'i? How would you?
I can address this point. So this is very interesting. Yes. So there's a passage within the Quran which says Khatan Nabiyin, that Muhammad is not the father of anyone amongst you. He is a messenger of God and the seal of the prophets. So how we see it is that as Baha'is, we believe that yes, 100% that Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, is the seal of the prophets. But the word prophet means Nabi, which prophet, and the word Rasul means apostle and messenger of God. As Baha'is, we believe that Baha'u'lláh is not just a prophet. We believe that Baha'u'lláh is a Rasul, the same way that Muhammad, may peace be upon him, is a Rasul, the same way Jesus is a Rasul, the same way Moses is a Rasul. And that there's a distinction, a difference between these Nabi and Rasul, that people like prophets like Arun, Ezekiel, Joshua are prophets, but they are not Rasul, the same way as Moses and Jesus and Muhammad, may peace be upon them all. Right. And so, yeah, there's a difference.
He's like an anointed. The word you're probably looking is anointed. More than anointed.
Yeah. And I think also we have to understand is that, again, going back to what I was saying earlier, is that all these religions and all these messengers of God point to the future, and they say there's somebody that's going to return as well. Somebody's going to come back and bring peace and prosperity to the earth.
Sorry to interrupt, but that was going to be my other question, because, my second question would be actually, so you believe in, do you follow because in Islam there was a split, as you know, there was the Sunni and the Shia. Now, which ideology is more closer to the Baha'i? I mean, do you believe in the 12 Imams, or do you believe in the caliphates? Now, how does that work?
Feel free to jump in anytime, Sam. But
Yeah.
as Baha'is, we follow the line of the Shia line. So we believe that Ali was the correct successor after the passing of Muhammad, may peace be upon him. And we believe that the Qayyim, who is the promised one for the Shias, we believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, is Baha'u'lláh. And that
the Bab.
Sorry, the Bab.
Okay, and now another reconciliation that you're going to need to do for me now, because I can delve in deeper into the Shia secularism. Now, the Shias believe that the 12th Imam went into occultation at the age of 6. Yeah. Now, before I continue, there are people that will say, how can a child have the ability, or why would God put a child in charge? Whereas, as a Muslim, you would know that Prophet Isa started lecturing from birth, shall we say, from the cradle, literally from being born. So if God's willing to make a Nabi at that age and make him be in hiding in occultation for 2,000 years, we're still awaiting for apparently Isa, if that's your belief as well. Am I wrong or not?
So we believe, as Baha'is, we believe that, well, it depends what line you could believe in, but we believe that the Mahdi is the Bab, and we believe that Isa is Baha'u'lláh.
Okay, okay.
Hello, John. Are you with us on that one?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So look. I mean, Mac, these are very good questions, and in fact, although Kalim, you're of course absolutely right. Baha'u'lláh endorsed Ali and Shia Islam. Actually, we don't make a huge distinction. I mean, Islam is Islam. Islam is absolutely beautiful. It has changed the world. You know, this laptop I'm using right now is because of Muhammad, peace be upon him. The universities, the science, everything came from Islam. You know, and not everything in Islam was Shia Islam, was it? It was a mix, and it still is a mix now. So Islam is beautiful. Whether those technically people follow Shia or Sunni, from a Baha'i point of view, Muslims are Muslims, and they're all wonderful, wonderful people, and they're all, you know, have progressed humanity to where we are today. So we're not secular in that way. We believe in the Shias or we believe in the Sunni. We're not like that. On a point of technicality, Baha'u'lláh says yes, you know, Ali was the one and whatever. But so therefore we believe in the Imams, and yes, the 12th Imam, he vanished in the year 260, and the Hadith said that he would return in the year 1260, which is the year 1844, which is the year that the Bab came. So in terms of Baha'i history, it fits, but it's not something that we consider very, very serious or important, because Muslims are beautiful people, no matter what they are, Sunni, Shia, or none, whether 5er, 12er, 7er, whatever you call it, you know. So
how do you reconcile with Jesus? So you're saying Jesus has come back? Sorry. I just wanted to. Yeah, I just wanted to understand that. So you're saying the return or the resurrection, has Jesus resurrected or returned?
So, I mean, again, there's different ways of interpreting that, but in a nutshell, yes. In a nutshell, yes. So when the Bible talks about the second parousia, or the second presence of Jesus, and it will happen in the end times, etc., that refers to Baha'u'lláh. But not that Baha'u'lláh physically was Jesus, but it's the return of the Spirit and the Word made flesh. But we also believe Muhammad was that Word made flesh, and as was Buddha, and as was, you know, so these are all the Rasulullah who come to guide humanity.
The Rasuls, yeah.
I want to welcome Omar X to the conversation. Thank you for joining us. I hope it doesn't get too crowded now. What have you made of what you've heard so far, and have you got a question for the gentleman?
Yes, great show, first of all. Good evening to you all. My ears might be deceiving me, so I thought I better call up and try to get clarification on this. Have I heard grown men agree that a boy of 6 years old who did much in the 6 years that he was alive is vanished and will return? Is that what I heard? And he's going to change the world at the age of 6. He has already returned at the age of 6.
He said he had the Mahdi. Not maybe they didn't embrace the.
The Mahdi is going to be 6 years old when he returns.
Yeah, I do.
No, he's not going to be 6 years old. He's going to be middle-aged. Like they're timeless. They can be timeless. And the point is,
So he
if
can
you
be
believe,
6 if he's timeless then. Or he
So-
can be 1,000 or 6,000.
Can I
well,
jump
he can be. Yeah, go on.
Let Loyal John back in.
Can I
Loyal John.
jump in? To be honest, I've never heard of that 6-year-old thing before. I'd never heard of it before.
Okay.
I'm not a scholar in Islam, so I don't know if the thing is, the stories of the Old Testament and the Bible and the Quran. I mean, they're old, and I'm not saying that they didn't happen, but if that's what the teaching is, that he vanished at 6. I don't know. Some of these things are allegorical, symbolical. They're they're interpretative. So like, do I believe there was a talking snake and gave an apple to Eve? No, of course I don't. And I think there's a much deeper meaning to that. Do I believe a 6-year-old boy vanished? I'm a scientist. I've got several science degrees. I'm a grown man, as you say. I don't believe that physically, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the point is,
It could be
whatever the
metaphor.
Yeah. I'm not too fussed about the truth of whether it's a 6-year-old boy or not. I don't know is the answer.
I think also
does. Yes.
I just want to read a question that came in, and we'll go back to Omar X from Liam Bobrick. Consider another planet with sentient beings. They worship God but have different religion and language, and would seem strange, but surely it wouldn't matter, as it would be the same God as on Earth. That's a good point. So there's different religions on Earth, but if there's different planets, presumably they have different religions. If you're calling it all the one religion, I mean, Muslims regard every prophet that God sent as Muslim, and it being a renewal of Islam. One of my favorite scholars said, remember that the Quran was not the first time that Islam was revealed, it was the last time in the Muslim opinion. Orient Express is saying, what do Baha'is say about Sufism? We can come to that in a moment. And Dasha has made a good point. Not all Muslims are wonderful. Islam is a beautiful faith, but Muslims can also have faults at the one end. No one is perfect.
Apart from me. No, joking. In regards to the question about messengers of God and on other planets and stuff, Baha'u'lláh says that every fixed star has its own life forms that no man can compute, So and I think that, going back to what I was saying before about the concept of progressive revelation, that religion needs to fit within the needs of the age in which we live in. I strongly believe we are moving into the time of the unification of mankind, and we are going down this road through absolute suffering and disunity until we realize this truth. But I also believe in the future, as technology advances and as our civilization progresses, that we might even come to the point where we need to start uniting planets, and so on. And I believe 100% that that they are sentient beings on other planets with also messengers of God as well to teach us. In the Quran it says, Prophet Muhammad, in the Quran it says, I have sent you messengers to every nation. So it's like, if we think about all the nations in the world, not just the nations in which the messengers came through the Abrahamic line, we think of the Native Americans, we think of the Chinese and so on, so all these messengers have come.
On that point, Kalim, and I'm going to bring Omar X in because he might clarify, does the Quran describe the Prophet as a mercy for all the worlds, not just the world? Am I right in saying that, Omar X?
Omar.
Yes, sir, you're absolutely right, and this is what is a key lesson for us, that there is something more so than what we know about. What Columbus knew, what all the other major scientists and discoverers knew. There is something going on. We don't know what it is. And then once again, as Loyal John just mentioned, that it could be allegoric, but it clearly states the worlds. So could there well be? Yes, there can be. Do we know what it is? No, but will we know in the future? And the way technology is growing, could we know even sooner, before our time is up? Yes, it is possible. If I can just circumvent, or if I can just go back to a little something just for a quick moment or so, and ask Loyal John and the other gentleman, and even Mac, if you wish to chime in, I simply would like to ask you, I think I heard you saying that Baha'i Faith is kind of like linked with the Shia side of things, and I respect that, and I respect all the different sects and denominations that they may well be in Islam or in any other faith. But for me, I would say that Islam ends with Muhammad, the Prophet, and then a couple of his friends came up and said, look, I'm going to be the governor, and everyone said fine. Why is such an emphasis given on Ali? Why is this, hey, Ali came and then 6 imams and 6-year-old and I don't know how many imams after him and so on? That doesn't become Islam. That's something else. Someone is saying 7 imams, someone's saying 6-year-old, somebody might say 60-year-old. So that's not Islam, if you ask me. That's just something cultural. Anyone can make something up. If I was there at the time, if I was there when the 12th imam was there, I'll say the man was 80 and he didn't vanish. He went off to Pakistan or somewhere. So why do you have the emphasis, or people have the emphasis on that time after Ali and all this? Each prophet of Islam, and then a couple of his mates became governors, but nobody really cares. They were just governors or caliphs, as you call them, and that would be the end of it. What's your thoughts on what I've stated?
Well, look, but sorry if I may, but Baha'is don't. I mean, we're not, as I said a few minutes ago, we're not.
They're a new religion. They're a new religion. We're a new religion.
Yeah, we're a new religion. So we're not too fussed about
emphasize on the history.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it was, and the points you make, Omar, are very fair. I completely, and to us, there's a question down there that I won't about Sufism. I'm not sure. I don't think Sufis are Sunni nor Shia. I don't believe. I don't know. But we respect them greatly. And to us, Islam is Islam. As I say, it's beautiful. It is what it is. And the historical, whether it was Ali or whether it doesn't really matter. It's just on a point of history. Baha'u'lláh said that yes, it was Ali was the right successor. So that argument on Muhammad's deathbed, but whether
Lord John, had he gone the other way, would he not have been very popular in his time and place? If you were in Shiraz or the surrounding area, you'd have to go with the majority, wouldn't you?
Well,
although
then. I don't think Baha'u'lláh was trying to win any popularity contest. Remember, by saying that he's come up with a new religion, he was thrown into a sewage pit called the Siyar Chal, and he was tortured and died a prisoner. So I don't think he was trying to win popularity contests. But you're right. Maybe that there's something, but we don't place a huge amount of importance on it. To be completely honest, we're not taking sides really.
Well, in response to that, quickly, what could have happened is that man could have said that, hey, if I say that it's not Ali, this is going to cause trouble for my followers. My followers are going to be attacked, and they're going to be.
They were attacked already, as Loyal John said. I mean, the question has kind of answered itself, but I want to take that point, Loyal John. Presumably, as you say, not trying to win any popularity contest. Then
can I?
Go on.
Sorry. I think they would have been more protected under the Shia umbrella than they would the Sunni, because already they think that Shiism was a deviation from the Islam. So
without commandeering it, the followers suffered under Shia Iran and then under Sunni Ottoman Turkey
Empire
and the Ottoman Empire. But just on the point of the successorship, and I know you don't want to dwell on it, I would just want to bring up that for the Shias and the people that believe it was Ali with the imamate, the emphasis is on the Ahlul Bayt, that the message would be carried by the family of the Prophet. And Sunnis have to love and revere that family as well, and they say blessings on the family of the Prophet and the Prophet. However, they have a disagreement with the Shia. With the Prophet founder of your faith, many of his family turned away from the message. Is that true? Without going too specific, I just want to see if you agree with that as a part of history. Were many of his family members, I don't want to say traitors, but they left the religion or they betrayed the faith? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So lots of Baha'u'llah's family one tried to, his half brother tried to poison him, you know, and of course, but then so some did, and some to this day are okay, but many obviously were still like his son and grandson, and you know the rest of his family are still. So
can I ask?
And you reminded me, the Prophet also had an uncle that was treacherous to him. So
yeah,
I guess we only remember the good sometimes and not the bad. I think Mac was going to jump in.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it what? So the imam, the ruling imam of now, is it called Mirza Ahmed Qadiani, or is there somewhere? Do you still have a
That's a different sect of Islam.
No, well, what I mean is, do they still have after Bahá'u'lláh? Because he passed away in Haifa in 1892. Is that right?
Well done. Yeah.
And Bahaji, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But after that, who succeeded after him is what I'm asking. So who's the actual right now? Who's the leading person in the Baha'i Faith right now? Who would you call the prophet or the messenger? Shall we say?
If I may.
Yeah.
So so Baha'u'lláh spoke about two things. One is the concept of the greater covenant, that we will never be left to our own devices, that he will send messengers depending on the age and the time that we live in, because the age and the time differ constantly. The second thing he spoke about is something called the lesser covenant. The lesser covenant is something specifically for Bahais, so the Bahais wouldn't be split off into sects and denominations like it has in religious history throughout years, thousands of years. So Baha'u'lláh wrote a book called The Will and correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, called The Will and Testament, and he specifically appointed his eldest grandson called Abd Baha, and Baha'is see Abd Baha as the pivotal center for the Baha'is to turn to. We call him the servant of the servant, the master, because all of his life he just served people, forgot about his material self and just served people endlessly. He was with Baha'u'lláh as well, and he was also faced terrible persecution with Baha'u'lláh in the prison city in Akka, and so on. And so I'm not going to go too much into Abd Baha because I'm sure you guys can do your research about Abd Baha after. So when Abd Baha passed away, he appointed his eldest grandson, somebody called Shoghi Effendi. Shoghi Effendi in the Baha'i world is seen as the guardian. So he basically took the blueprints and the revelation, the teachings of Baha'u'lláh and Abd Baha, and put them into practice. This is why right now the Baha'i Faith is the second most widespread religion, is because of Shoghi Effendi. Shoghi Effendi didn't have any children, and it was meant to be like this, because in the revelation of Baha'u'lláh and the teachings of Abd Baha, everything is being steered towards Baha'i institutions. And right now,
sorry to interrupt you, Callum, but it sounds very much like the Sunni, or some of the Sunni arguments for it being the caliphs and not the imamate, and the fact that the Prophet didn't have any sons that survived infancy, and it's only through Fatima, his daughter, that there is any Ahlul Bayt. Some Sunnis would say, see, it wasn't meant to be the family, it was meant to be this kind of governing body, similar to what you have described there.
Right, exactly that. And the main thing with this covenant was that it steers into everything that we have in the Baha'i world today, which is through Baha'u'llah's revelation and his teachings through Abd Baha and Shoghi Effendi, is the Universal House of Justice, which is located and centered in Haifa, which is the governing body, which is not like an authoritarian, totalitarian regime where it's just like you got to do this. It's an institution that guides the Baha'i world and strengthens their abilities to teach the Baha'i faith and strengthens the Baha'i community and gives guidance and so on. Sam, feel free to chip in as well.
No, there's nothing to add other than it's an elected body. So we have completely democratic elections, and so we have no clergy in the Baha'i Faith. It's just at every level, local, national, and international level, we just have elected institutions, and that is really how it continues. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay, can I ask a few questions now? Would you mind?
A few questions.
Few questions.
First question, I want to know, what was one of Bahai's miracles?
Is this a quiz, or are these things you want to know? Do you have the answers?
I actually want to know, did Baha'i perform any miracles?
Okay. I feel like you've got the answers already. Go on. Any miracles, gentlemen? Go for it.
Honestly,
I'm going to jump in on this one. I'm going to say yes and no. Look, the Bahá'u'lláh, according to Bahais, was a manifestation of God. God created the whole universe. So he could do anything at any time, in the same way that Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon him, Krishna, Buddha, the rest of it, they could as well. Bahá'u'lláh, yes, there are stories of phenomenal things that have happened, but Bahá'u'lláh was very, very clear that do not even think about any miracles. If he'd do anything, he would tell people not to talk about it, and said, if you believe, not just you, Mac, but anybody, if one believes in a messenger of God because of physical miracles, they're believing for the wrong reason. And I have, I've had chats with very good, my wife's a Christian, I have a chats with, good Christian friends, and some of them say, oh yes, but Jesus did this and he died and he kind of came back from that's all well and good. And of course he can, and of course he did, and the rest of it. But I don't believe in Jesus. I don't love Jesus because he kind of turned water into wine, allegedly. I love him because of his transformative power of his words and how he changed hearts, how he changed the water of men's hearts into the wine of men's hearts. That's much of a bigger miracle than I don't care about some wedding party and, making loads of fish and bread appear. Who cares? So yes, Baha'u'lláh did, but he's very, very clear. We do not talk about miracles. Miracles are not important. That is not why you believe in a messenger of God. You believe because of the word of God.
And also as well, just to add that point, within Islam, it says also that it's God's duty to test man, and for man not to test God. Not saying that the messengers of God are God, because as Baha'is we don't believe that they are the physical incarnation of God, but it's important that we don't. It's this reciprocal thing, right? That when the messengers of God come, it's our free will whether we choose to listen or not to listen, and so on. So their life in their essence is a miracle. What they go through, the persecution, the torture, the suffering, how they bring the spiritually dead back to life. This is the miracle. The reason why I know the name of Jesus is a miracle. The reason why I know the name of Buddha is the miracle, because their life is a personification of spiritual of miracles, basically, because they're spiritually bringing people who are materialistically dead into being spiritually alive, which is the purpose of religion.
Right. Okay. Now, what was, the major thing, or in a story, I see similar, I was hearing the last time, the similarities with Imam Hussein, how people give up their life for this, the truth of Baha'i, which is in itself, it must be amazing. There is a reason for them. They are enlightened. They obviously do know something. But what major event would you say for people that aren't familiar with the religion like myself to say, wait, or you could say gave you a strong belief in the religion, that this is the true religion? What special event, or what kind of caught your eye then? If not looking at miracles, what event would you say took place that got your attention into thinking maybe this is the true form, or this is the true light, or the true calling, or the straight path, should we say?
Do you want to start, Sam?
With that, we're going to welcome another guest.
How are you?
What's your name, sir? Who's calling us?
My name is Maya.
Mahia, where are you calling from?
Pakistan.
You're very welcome. Just stand by if you've got a question, and we'll get you straight in. Thank you for joining.
Hello.
Shukriya. Kalim, you were going to answer
Yeah. So specifically for me personally, I can name a lot of stories in Baha'i history. You know, I can name for Tabazi, the martyrdom of the Bab. But for me, the one that gets me moved the most is the story of Tahir, who was somebody the time of the Bab who investigated the life of the Bab independently. But her story is very moving because she, in my view, is a true feminist. There was, please Sam, please correct me if I forget this wrong, but there was a meeting going on, and a special meeting, and basically, to cut a long story short, she unveiled herself. You know, there was custom during that time to be completely veiled, and she unveiled herself. And during this time, to do this would be like you could be killed for doing this, you know, for unveiling. And she said to a lot of men, you know, she said, you know, you can kill me now, but you can never stop the emancipation of women. And a few days later, she was killed, ruthlessly strangled and thrown down a well, and and really barbarically killed. But for me, that's the most moving story of somebody who was, you know, willing to sacrifice themselves for the cause of Baha'u'lláh, but also for the cause of women as well. So yeah, for me, that's one.
Thank you, Kalam. I hope Mac's still hearing you. We've lost his camera. There it is. Mahir, welcome and thank you for joining us. Have you got a question to raise or a point?
Just not question. I want to know what is the Baha'i. I don't know what is this.
Well, you could rewind the video and watch the start of the show, but Kalim, give him a little 30-second answer. What is Baha'i? That's what we're talking about tonight.
I want to know what is the Baha'i, Baha'u'lláh. What is?
I promise I won't beatbox. Okay. Yeah. So the Baha'i Faith is an independent world religion, and the three major, like, I can talk about it for a long time, but I'm just going to give you the three basic points of what the Baha'i Faith is. So Baha'is believe that all religions in their essence are one and the same, that all religions are not fighting for hierarchy, are not in competition, that they all speak with the same voice. The only difference is the time and the age in which they come. Again, like chapters in the one same book. And this book is life, and this book is continuous. We, even as Baha'is, believe that more messengers will come in the future because the time of the age is different. Second thing is that Baha'is believe that we are in the process of realizing that we are one people. We live on one planet. We are like the fingers of one hand, that each finger is different, but it's on one hand. So Baha'u'lláh says that the earth is but one country and mankind its citizens. And the third thing, the last thing, is Baha'is. Oh, where's he gone?
Well, we've lost him. He might still be watching. Give us your third point, and he's probably listening out there in Pakistan.
The third point is, as Baha'is, we believe that there is only one God. Whether you call God Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Father, Yahweh, Arumazda, Mother Nature, Gaia, you know, these are all different names to realize that there's only one God. So those are the three in a nutshell.
If I've got a couple of questions, if Mac is finished with his, maybe you've got more, Mac. Have you got more?
I do have one or two more, if that's all right.
Thought you might. Go on, go on, Matt. You keep it going.
Was there any prophecies that he made?
Baha'u'lláh.
Yeah. That have come to fruition, say.
I can mention one. Baha'u'lláh, in the Seer, I believe the Seer Child. Sam, you can correct me. Baha'u'lláh prophesied the appearance of world institutions, and Baha'u'lláh spoke about the appearance of specifically things like world government, a world tribunal, a world banking system, and things like this. And I think what we're seeing in this world, we're going down towards this international road. you know.
But wasn't this happening with the Ottoman Empire trying to make it like then? I mean, each empire was trying to do the same thing, to eradicate and to bring on, for example, World War II. If the Nazis were trying to take over the world, and you see what I mean. Right. So every empire throughout history has been trying to. So it's not really a prediction. I mean, I could make a similar prediction if I'm going to be frank. I'm just saying to come and explain, to say that you know of an institute or a one world order or one governing body. I mean, it's something that's quite. But I'm talking about
all right, Loyal John, can you do any better than that? Sorry, Callum, I don't make light of your prophecy example. With faith, it's always about.
I'm just saying.
It's what it means to you, isn't it? But no, we take your point. Lord John, give us something.
I can't be better than Callum, because I think Callum's answer was actually very good. Actually, so Mac, with respect, the Ottoman Empire was trying to, to write every empire, right back to, the Persian Empire and further back, was trying to rule the world and be that one. But Baha'u'lláh makes a very specific. There's a big difference. Baha'u'lláh says that there'll be a world federal system. So the Ottoman Empire was trying to, Nazi Germany, which came after Baha'u'lláh, tried to, the British tried, everyone tried to, but this isn't what's happening now. What's happening now is a United Nations, the Millennium Summit, nations coming together in one federal system, which was called the League of Nations, is now called the United Nations, and it's pretty rubbish. There's going to be something better. So that, a single system of economy, a single system of weights and measures and all of these things, a unification of the world in a federal way, that's completely unprecedented. So that's quite different. But the other thing, a more direct, the answer I would have given, and I think Callum's is a better answer, but the answer I would have given is, you mentioned the world wars, Mac. So very, very briefly, Baha'u'lláh wrote to the major kings and rulers of the world at the time: Queen Victoria, Wilhelm of Prussia, Napoleon of France, the Third of France, etc., etc. And he said to them, "This is the day of God, follow me." And they said no, apart from Queen Victoria, pretty much. They all said no. And Wilhelm of Prussia, or Germany, if you like, said no. And Baha'u'lláh wrote back to him, and he was quite kind of rude in his response to Baha'u'lláh, pretty much. And Baha'u'lláh wrote back to him and basically said, "You're going to have two world wars." He basically said, the banks of the Rhine will be
and one World Cup
twice.
Sorry,
twice. So World War I, World War II, he pretty much predicted. So anyway,
it's the same with Napoleon as well. Napoleon, because Baha'u'lláh, as Sam rightly said, sent messages to all the major leaders during that time, and Napoleon received it and he read it. Said, "If he is from God, I am two gods," and he threw it behind his back. Within a matter of years, he lost everything. He was exiled to Britain. So, and Baha'u'lláh predicted this as well. But he, and there's other things as well that he's.
There are many.
Yeah, even predicting and nuclear about the nuclear bomb, and so on. So, and you can read that up in Baha'i history, and he spoke about this tremendous energy that has tremendous effect, but it's also hugely impactful and can do a lot of damage. So he spoke about many different things in regards to the future as well,
But this isn't why we believe in him. But
no, of course.
We can make prophecies, but like we talk about miracles, this is, to us, it's interesting, but it's not why we believe in him.
Yeah.
This is one more written question, and if any other question is going to be from the top of my head. But one more written question that I had was, I looked at the Baha'i logo, and I happened to see, if I'm not mistaken, that they have this. Is it the star? The star that they have is a pentagram. Am I right?
Sam, you go ahead. I don't know much about it.
No, I mean, so I think actually looking at the link for this this video, Jules has got the Bahai Star. It's not a pentagram; it's a 9-pointed star. Oh, okay, right, yeah, that. Okay, I see. Yeah. So the Bahai logo, if there is one, would be is a 9-pointed star, and that's just that's just what it is. That there is there's a calligraphist called Mishkin Kalam, who he put that, and that's a very deep. That what you just showed there is a very deep graphic to denote God on the top layer, the messengers of God on the middle layer, humanity on the bottom layer, and the Holy Spirit running through, and the five. You know, the reason there's five there is because the head, 2 arms, and 2 legs is meant to be the Bab and Baha'u'lláh on either side. I mean, that's just a graphic designed by
I'm just going to put up so people can see again.
A graphic designed.
Is this called The Greatest Name? Is that the greatest
name? I think Esma Azam. I think the greatest name. I think So
okay.
So that's just that's a Baha'i graphic, and but the official logo of the Bahá'í Faith, I think, as Jules put up for this video, is a 9-pointed star.
And why 9, Loyal John? Why 9? It's the highest single-digit number, isn't it?
Yeah,
well,
I think that's
what I heard.
9 is a holy number in the Baha'i Faith, and I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, there were 9 years between the Babs coming and Baha'u'llah's coming. There are 9 major world religions, perhaps. There are 9 planets in the solar system. I don't actually know why 9 and 19. These are the 2 holy numbers in the Baha'i Faith. I don't know why. I don't know. Kalim, I don't know.
19 would be because there's Bismillah, isn't it?
Okay.
I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And also, as well, it's what Jules said as well. It's it's out of all the single digits, it's the greatest. It's the biggest number as well. So
I did a whole show on the number 9, to be quite honest.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I and because what it is with the Masonic knowledge, they do work with the number 9 a lot. And
Masonic. We're Masons. Oh my God!
We're
not Illuminati. Don't worry.
No. But it's just they say that 9 is a very valuable number, and if you can learn the tricks of 9, you can actually be ahead in mathematics. And
wow,
that's what it is.
Mac, on that show, you were saying that 360, which is a circle, you add the digits up, they equal 9. 180,
9.
Add the digits up, they equal 9. Half of 180, 90. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
So on and so on, it always adds up to 9.
Up to 9. Yeah. Or if you do, for example, what was it? If you do 9 times 9 is 81. You add the digits.
Think
up,
of a number. Take away.
9 times 4, 45. 4, 5 is obviously, see what I mean? It's always adding up to 9.
Coming up on Lessons for Life, do join us on a Wednesday night where we will give over the whole evening to esoteric, paranormal, and all manner of things that are a little bit out there. We've got chats going on. I've lost track of the chat as ever. Gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up on an hour. So if there are any burning questions or questions in the audience or points that haven't been put across yet, different points to be made, now is the time to do so. Other than that, I want to say it's great that we've had different voices on the show tonight. We had someone call in from Pakistan who asked a question, which is great to have. And I hope we'll do something like this again. The man is telling us not to get angry. Don't get angry. And he's got a picture of, I think that's KFC. The Colonel there. Fast food. Other outlets are available. Amin Baloch is saying hello. Hello, bro. How are you?
Hey, guys.
And hi, Amin Baloch.
33X feels that he's been watching. So, Mac, have you got any burning questions? If not, I'll ask the couple I have.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'll pass it over.
We were saying a lot tonight about how religions are all one, all these prophets are one, and you mentioned Buddha. Someone else mentioned Krishna. There are prophets and people that came forward who claimed to have a message from God, who presumably you don't include. So what is your criteria for this all-embracing ideology of, they're all one? I mean, the obvious one I'm going to bring up is perhaps Guru Nanak, who came after the Prophet Muhammad and before the Bab, so I assume he's out. Yeah. For the Rastafarians, Gabriel Haile Selassie was the return of Christ. For the Ahmadiyya Muslims, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad was the return of Christ. There are other rival claims to this belief that you have. What's your criteria for being part of this all-in-one club?
I think the main one of the main teachings of the Baha'i Faith is the concept of personal investigation of the truth, and it's what I said at the beginning. You know, Christ gave a clear example to his followers in order to investigate if somebody claims to be a messenger of God. You know, he says, inwardly they will be, outwardly they'll be as sheep, inwardly they'll be as wolves. By their fruits of their tree you shall recognize them. Meaning that you should investigate their fruits. You should personally invest, because we have an independent mind. You know, we can investigate truth for ourselves. So by the fruits of their tree you shall recognize them. So you need to investigate those fruits, because a good tree cannot bear bad fruits, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruits. If there are no fruits if there are no fruits, it is fit for the fire. Which means that so for example, in the Baha'i Faith, if Baha'u'lláh came along and he didn't bring any fruits, thing that can benefit society, make the world better, then he would cease to be who he was. And
right.
so,
just for time,
sorry.
Thank you, Lord John. Fruits.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the correct answer. Obviously, you should know them by their fruits. To answer more specifically the question of these other people, partly, yeah, absolutely the fruits. But the fruits of Guru Nanak you mentioned.
He was a good man. He was spiritual, I believe.
The Sikhs are phenomenal people. I work with a Sikh, and he's a lovely guy. And the Baha'i Faith calls Guru Nanak a saint of the highest order. But Baha'u'lláh makes it so. Essentially, the answer to your question is who Baha'u'lláh said so. So Baha'u'lláh said yes, So he said these people were the actual messengers of God. But there are other people who are saints.
And he mentioned Buddha by name.
No, so the Baha'u'lláh himself didn't, but the Baha'i writings do. So the Shoghi Effendi, the Guardian, mentioned the Buddha. And that's So the Buddha was a messenger of God. Okay.
Last question, possibly because we missed it earlier. Is there a particular language that is special in the religion, such as Arabic for the Muslims? What language was the religion revealed in, or languages?
So it was revealed in Farsi and Arabic. So there are some that he wrote 100 volumes in his time, Baha'u'lláh, and in fluent Farsi and in fluent Arabic. That are two. The two religions, but actually the official language, if you like, of the Baha'i Faith now, it seems, our world center is in the Holy Land in Haifa, and the House of Justice that Kalim was talking about but the letters are generally, we have an international community. English tends to be the language that is used.
Is that because what Jesus spoke?
But also,
is it because it's the main language in the world, or the most widely understood?
Yeah. In the future, it may be Chinese or Arabic.
But you go to different Baha'i things. Like I've been a part of a few Baha'i devotions, and there's not a Baha'i language. Go to like Baha'i devotionals or Baha'i stuff, and you're hearing beautiful Baha'i prayers in like Portuguese and Spanish and so on. So like these are the languages of the world, because we should be celebrating the diversity and so on. So yeah, there's no specific Baha'i language, even though it was revealed in Farsi and Arabic.
I was going to say, can I see if I got the right information? I was going to answer the question for peace-loving Muslim. It says the real, I don't know, I think, is it Mirza Hussain Ali? Was that his name?
Yeah.
And he was
Baha'u'lláh is a title as such.
Yeah.
The
glory of God.
Does that mean glory of God? Yeah, that was messenger of God. Yeah.
Glory of God.
Yeah. Glory of God. Okay.
Baha means glory, and Ullah means Allah of God.
Allah, obviously. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. And the man is saying we don't need a religion to make God rich. And the meek will inherit the earth. Interesting final point, possibly. Gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much, and Omar X, who joined us earlier on before he got censored. I had to take him out. And our friend from Pakistan, and everyone watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and share it. Quick advert, 30 seconds for Callum Beatbox. He's got a channel. There you go.
At Beatbox Tangent, TANGENT, Instagram Tangent, TANGENT. I'll see you there. Lots of music.
You go. If you want to hear more of that noise. This has been Lessons for Life. We'll do it all again soon. Thank you for watching.
Safe, Jules.
here.
Love you
Thank you,
guys.
man.
Go on.
Bye.
Later.